In the heart of London's bustling Camden Market, hidden between stalls selling vintage clothes and artisanal cupcakes, there was an unassuming shop filled with dusty antiques. Its windows were fogged with age, and the only light that dared penetrate the gloom came from the flickering gas lamp outside. It had been here for decades, untouched by time. People called it Mr. Morgan's Curiosity Shop, though no one had seen Mr. Morgan in at least 20 years. One rainy Saturday afternoon, a young man named Alex stumbled into the shop. He was an aspiring writer who had come to the market to gather inspiration for his next story. The shop's cluttered interior was like a time capsule from another era. There were old gramophones, clocks with frozen hands, and even a pair of 1940s roller skates. But it was a peculiar device tucked away in a dark corner that caught Alex's attention. It looked like a cross between a typewriter and a kaleidoscope, its brass gears glinting mysteriously in the dim light. As Alex examined this strange machine, an unexpected surge of electricity jolted him, and the gears began to spin wildly, stopping just short of stabbing his fingers. A faint voice echoed within the shop, saying, "Show me the inscription on the metal plate." Hesitantly, Alex flipped the device over. On the underside, there was an inscription. "The oracle will show you the path ahead, but beware, the price you pay for its wisdom may be more than you can afford." As soon as he read these words, the gears started spinning again, faster than before. Alex tried to put the device down, but an invisible force held it fast in his hands. Then a deep, resonant voice boomed through the shop, startling Alex so much that he dropped the machine. "You have awakened me from my slumber," the voice said, "and now I shall show you your future." With that, the world around Alex dissolved into a blinding white light. When his vision returned, he found himself standing in the same shop, but everything was different. The walls were bare and the antiques were gone. In their place was a large crystal ball mounted on a pedestal. Gazing into its depths, Alex saw images of his future, a future where he had become a successful author. He saw cheering crowds at his book signings, the faces of his adoring fans, and, most importantly, the substantial sum of money his books had earned him. The vision faded, and Alex found himself back in the shop, the original cacophony of sounds and sights all around him. But now the shop wasn't just a curiosity shop anymore. It was a portal to his future. Overwhelmed with excitement, he rushed to tell his best friend, Emma, about his incredible discovery. Emma was initially skeptical, but after seeing the device for herself, her eyes widened with understanding. She recognized the device from local legend, which spoke of a magical shop in Camden Market that could show people their futures for a price. Together, they made a pact. Alex would use the oracle to ensure his writing career took off, and Emma would use it to find the love she had always dreamed of. Their first attempts at using the oracle were small and seemingly insignificant. Alex asked it how long it would take for his first book to become a bestseller, and it replied in his mind, "Within 3 months." Emma asked when she would find her soulmate, and the oracle told her, "In 6 weeks." These predictions came true within the specified time frames, and emboldened by their success, they decided to ask bigger questions. Alex wanted to know if his second book would also be a success, and the oracle said, "It will be greater than the first." Emma wished to know the name of her future husband, and the oracle replied, "He will have the heart of a poet and the soul of an artist." Each answer brought them closer to their dreams, and they became increasingly dependent on the oracle's guidance. However, as they delved deeper, the price they paid for the oracle's wisdom started to rise. After each question, Alex noticed strands of his hair turning gray, and Emma's laughter lines deepened, etched into her face by the toll of the oracle's magic. One day, Alex asked how long he would live, hoping for many more years. But the oracle's reply surprised him. "Your time is almost up. You have less than a year left to live." Shaken by the revelation, Alex turned to Emma, whose own question about her longevity had yielded the same grim answer. They realized with horror that the oracle wasn't just showing them their futures, it was shaping them, taking years from their lives for every question they asked. Faced with this terrible truth, they concocted a plan. They would ask the oracle how to stop paying this heavy price, hoping it would provide a solution. But when the question was posed, the oracle's response was cryptic and cruel. The only way to cease the toll is to offer something valuable in exchange, something it cannot refuse. Puzzled, Alex and Emma racked their brains trying to figure out what they could possibly give the oracle. Alex thought about his writing, the stories he had yet to tell, the characters he had yet to bring to life. Could he offer to give up his writing career? Would the oracle accept this sacrifice? But then he thought about Emma, her face lined not just with laughter, but now with worry and fear. Could he ask the oracle to restore her youth, to erase the worry lines from her face and the toll it had taken on her body? The thought both terrified and fascinated him. Meanwhile, Emma grappled with her own thoughts. Was she willing to sacrifice the little time she had left with Alex, to give up the prospect of sharing her life with him, all for a chance at a longer life? The pressure was immense, and the deadline set by the oracle loomed ever closer. On the day of the final reckoning, Alex and Emma stood before the oracle, its malevolent presence pressing down on them. They looked at each other, their eyes speaking volumes. In that moment, they knew what they had to do. Without a word spoken, they faced the oracle, ready to make their final requests. Alex, the writer, asked the oracle to erase his memory of the last 2 years. This way, he would lose his fame as an author, but he would gain a full life to live with Emma, his best friend. Emma, in turn, asked for the oracle to erase her memories of Alex. This way, the toll on her life would cease and she would still have her youth. The oracle, unable to refuse such selfless requests, granted them. And in that instant, Alex and Emma lost their memories of each other and their recent pasts. As the oracle absorbed their memories, its power surged, causing it to glow brightly and then explode into a million pieces. Now, free from the clutches of the oracle, Alex and Emma found themselves in the present, both physically and emotionally younger than when they had first entered the shop. But their reunion was tinged with sadness. Neither of them remembered the other, and the prospect of having to start their friendship anew was daunting. However, as time went on, their bond began to reform. They started as strangers, drawn together by an inexplicable connection. Slowly but surely, fragments of their past came back to them in the form of dreams and feelings. They began to remember the joy they had shared, the secrets they had whispered, and the love they had felt for each other. The road to recovery was long and arduous, but with each passing day they healed a little more. Eventually, their memories were restored, and they found themselves back at the spot where it all began, the old curiosity shop. This time it was a blank slate, devoid of the oracle and its dark magic. Hand in hand, Alex and Emma stepped into the empty shop, ready to start their lives anew. They had lost precious years to the oracle, but now they had each other and their friendship, stronger and more profound than ever before. They had learned a hard but invaluable lesson about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of cherishing every moment. And so their adventure came to an end, leaving behind the shadow of the oracle, a reminder that sometimes the greatest price we pay is not for the answers we seek, but for the questions we dare to ask. The empty shop stood as a testament to their ordeal, a silent sentinel guarding their secret and ensuring that the oracle's malevolent influence would never again darken their doorway.